Numbers 23 and verse 19. God is not a man that he shall lie, neither the son of man that he shall repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? So, Shalom, in this lesson, I'll be addressing this verse. It was a brother that pretty much, how can I say it? He didn't really know how to explain this, you know, like he went on saying that he wasn't a man. He not a man. Like he not a man like us, so he wouldn't lie. But then he caught himself and heard that, that could sound like to somebody that he's, not a man, or maybe, well, he could be a woman, but all in pretty much all due to trying to explain what that means, that he's not a man that he shall lie. So before I get into this call, Halam La Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai Wahara Kakodash, and double honors to the hopefully elect elder apostles that are slated to be saved, Lord willing, starting with those at the GMS Great Millstone Church, on down to the rest that may be out here, and Shalom to the rest that may be out here under the same doctrine and been under the same doctrine. Shalom onward to the Akim here at this faction, this church, this faction of this hopefully elect assembly of us in this doctrine. That's in the order, the true doctrine, that's in the order teaching and all true faith and sincerity. Shalom. And over to the rest of the Akim, doing likewise for you, to you elder Akim, on down to younger Akim, and as well likewise to the rest of you believers in on this faith as well. The women, the men, the women, children, and few men, some men that's of the Israelite race that's in on this faith as well. Okay, if you have a Bashmal Shai. So God is not a man that he shall lie. Meaning what? Simply, he's not subject to the flesh. It's not that he's not a man. It's not that he's contradicting himself when it says God is not a man that he shall lie. He's not subject to the flesh. We was going to get some scriptures I got queued up, and it should be clear. So let's get the first one, Matthew 8, and we're going to get, you can kind of get this one. I'm going to just use this one to quote the one I really wanted to get. So I'm going to start at verse 16. When the even was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devils, and he cast out spirits with his word, and healed all that were sick, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, he himself took our infirmities and bare our sicknesses. Yeah, because the scriptures say how the Lord is the author and finisher of our faith. Pretty much, he was born among us. He bared. It's a particular one I'm looking for, but the spirit was just rolling, so I just went ahead and got the other ones that was coming to me. But it's another one that pretty much tell you that he was put in this flesh, so he know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? Brothers that know what I'm talking about, you could just drop it in the comment section. It pretty much is going into that. Like, he know what it's like. He knows our sufferings. I actually probably could pull it up to get it. Let me see. Right. And I'm going to jump to the point. I'm going to jump up to show that's what this talking about. This is Hebrews 2 and 18. For in that he himself has suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that are tempted. Exactly, because Yahweh Shai, he was put in a body so he could relate. He was the son of the Most High. So he was he went through everything we go through because he was put in one of these bodies. He was in this body. Okay. And I'm gonna jump up to show that this is verse 7. It says, I'm gonna actually start at 6, but one in a certain place he testified, saying, what is man that thou art mindful of him, or the son of man that thou visited him? In the NLT, it says, "For in one place the scriptures say, what are mere mortals that you should think about them, or a son of man that you should care for them, for him?" Exactly. Because there's certain things that man deals with because of the body. But anyway, verse 7, and the Lord, he knows that. That's why he said he knoweth our frame, right? So that's why he really said that. Like he had that said that he's not a man that he shall lie, right? But anyway, it says verse 7, "Thou madest him a little lower than the angels. Thou crownest him with glory and honor, and did set him over the works of thy hands." Exactly. So Yahweh Shai, he was made a little lower than the angels, meaning what? He was a God. He was on the level of the angels. He was actually the son of God, right? The angels under him, but he was made lower because he was put in the body. He actually went through the body to where he could die. Angels don't die. It says in the NLT, "Thou hast put all things in his Slaki," verse 8. "Thou hast," in the KJV, "Thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet, for in that he put all subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all things put under him." Verse 9, "But we see Yahweh Shai, who was made little lower than the angels," meaning what? For the suffering of death. That's why he was a little lower than the angels. The angels weren't subject to a body that can die. The angels that's in heaven, but you got other angels that were. Okay, but anyway, it says, so it's things that man, which is this body, it's the difference between God and man. But man is in the image of God, but man is not God. You know, what makes it, it's a whole nother thing, but it should be understood. It says that he by grace of God should taste death for every man. Exactly. So that's why he was made a little lower than angels. I'm gonna read it in the NLT because it's clear. It says what we do see is Yahweh Shai, who was given a position a little lower than the angels, and because he suffered death, and because he suffered death for us. That was the difference, really. It says, "For he is now crowned," and what made him a little lower, but just in that moment. So he was changed, but it says his body was changed. It said it says he is now crowned with glory and honor. Yes, by God's grace, the Father's grace, Yahweh Shai tasted death for everyone. Exactly. You know? So it says, "For it became him," back in the KJV, "whom are all things, and by him are all things, in bringing many sons unto glory." Right? The other sons of God. Right? Us. It says to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. Exactly. Because he know what it's like. He understands it. You know, but both, you know, who's better to be over us than one that was on our level? He couldn't relate to us if he wasn't. So it's hard for him to, you know, he showed he was God. Oh, he was subject to the same things we subject to, but he was better at us than in it. And he died, like we all once done, even in his true estate as Yahweh Shai, because obviously that spirit was down here before reincarnating, as you know, but because that's the Lord set his son up to do. You know what I'm saying? That was the first spirit he made. But anyway, which was sitting down here. But anyway, it says, as far as the Most High, the first spirit he made, and the only spirit he made. But anyway, it says, "For both he that sanctified and they who are sanctified are all of one, for which cause he is not ashamed to call them brethren." Exactly. You know, in the NLT. So now Yahweh Shai and the ones he makes holy have the same Father. Exactly. Us, that's in this truth, the Israelites. Ultimately, everybody, all the Israelites, as far as what I mean by everybody, you know, soon. But it started with the 1/3, the elect, 144,000, and then the rest of the 1/3, you know. which consists of, women and children and men. But anyway, it says in 144,000 is the governing body, which are all men, 12,000 from each tribe, each Israelite tribe. It says that is why, who are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? It says that is why Afro people scattered abroad. But it says that is why Yahushua is not ashamed to call them his brothers and sisters. Okay. It says, verse 12 in the KJV, saying, I will declare thy name unto my brethren in the midst of the church, will I sing praise unto thee. And again, I will put my trust in him. And again, behold, I am the children which the most, behold, I am the children which the Most High the Father hath given me. For as much then as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same. See that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. Exactly. Which are these bodies. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels. Right. The only difference is these bodies. Doesn't mean they're not men or anything, is, which we're going to get into, but, but stand on the point that, it says, for verily he took not on him the nature of angels. They can't die because of the body they have. Right. Which has nothing to do if they're not a gender, or could be considered a gender or something like that. But it says, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. See, he took on him the seed of Abraham. Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he, which is us, the Israelites, okay? So we can know what it's like. We can know what comes with man, okay? Which is failure. Going off. So that's what it means by the Most High is not a man that he shall lie. He's not subject to the thing that, to imperfection. He's perfect. Doesn't mean he's not a man, but we're going to make that clear. It says, and faithful high priest, it says that he might be a merciful, faithful high priest in things pertaining to the Most High Yahweh, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. For in that he himself hath suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that are tempted. So he was able to relate to what? Everything we deal with in these bodies. Man deals with in these bodies. That's why he was the Son of God, but was also called what? Who? The Son of Man. Okay? So, and I know the brother wasn't saying that like the Mora wasn't a man, but when it come to that, it get technical. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we know it's not saying that according to other scriptures. It's just, but anyway, we're going to make it clear on how to explain it. So you should understand Matthew 8:17, which is the only reason I got this one, because I wanted that one. But this is the best thing, so that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying he took our infirmities and bare our sicknesses. Yeah, the Lord went through being able to die, be hurt, be sick, know what it feel like. Okay. To know what makes man. Okay. Which is, as you can see, failure. Because you getting sick is your body failing. You dying is your body failing. That's what corruptible is talking about. So when you go to St. John 4 and I'm gonna just jump back to Numbers 23 and 19 again. The Most High is not a man that he shall lie, neither the Son of Man. See that he shall repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? See, so it's just saying that what? He's not subject to failure. He's not subject to the thing that makes man lie. That brings lies. Was this flesh? Because ain't nobody up there in the heavens lying. I could tell you that. This is verse according to the scriptures. In the NLT, God is not a man, so he does not lie. Doesn't that nope? But it's a part in here that makes more sense. not that part. He is not human, so he does not change his mind. Has he ever spoken and failed to act? Has he ever promised and not carried it through? So my point is more so that he's not human, so-called human. He's not subject to the things we got to deal with. But that does not take away. It doesn't change the fact that that doesn't mean he's not a man. Now we're gonna make this clear. Okay, so it says St. John 4:24. The Most High, the Father, is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So he's a spirit. Okay. So he's not subject to flesh. He's not subject to this flesh, to man's flesh. This particular flesh, which we're going to get, there is differences, is the one that he was talking about, which is what makes man lie. Okay? Exodus 15, he's not in that one. He's not in that body. That does not mean he's not a man. Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. We know the Lord what? He does not the author confusion. So if he didn't want this to be put, it wouldn't be here. And it's not a contradiction. So that clearly means that has nothing to do with him not being a man as far as Numbers 23 and 19. It's once again more so saying he's not subject to what man is subject to. He's not in the body. He's not what makes man man. The man he's talking about. Not man in the sense of, is he masculine or feminine? He's not, is he masculine dominant, the feminine dominant, or whatever. It's not talking about in that regard. It's talking about really flesh, this particular flesh, mankind. Because in that instance, if you want to be technical and make it about gender, that you basically saying, so I guess women don't lie. So it couldn't be talking about that, because man and women lie. As they say, numbers don't. So that is not literally meaning man. It's talking about the flesh. And I'm sure when you look that word up, it goes further, the word man. But anyway, it says Daniel 7:9, to prove this, he has a body. You know what I'm saying? It says what? I beheld till the thrones were cast down. This is high. And the Ancient of Days did sit. That's talking about the Most High, the Father, the one that said he's not a man that he shall lie. Was that actually meaning he's not a man? He's not in the body or whatever. Whose garment was white as snow. You can't have a garment on without a body. It says, and the hair of his head was like the pure wool. It doesn't say he had long hair like a woman. See that? So he's a man and he has a body. So it should be getting clear. So when he said he's not a man that he should lie, he's more so talking about this particular flesh, this particular type of flesh. Hence the chains of darkness, to where he go the hell off. He's not subject to that. He's not gonna do that. So that's why you could trust him. He's perfect. It says his throne was like the fiery flame. That's a seat. How can you sit if you don't have a body? It says, and his wheels, and note what it's saying. And his, so he's a man, right? Wheels as burning fire. But some are questioning, like, you not a man, he's not a man. Okay. 2 Peter 2:4. For if God spared not, the Most High, the Father, spared not the angels. So we talking about the angels now that sinned, right? But cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness. That's what he's talking about. Who is that talking about? That's talking about the Israelites. When they were once the son in the estate of the sons of God, like physically, if you will, and lost that estate when Adam sinned, and were put in these chains of darkness, to where, basically a body that can go off and die. Okay, it says, but cast them down, Adam and Eve, by the way. It says that, but cast them down to hell, which is what? A lower estate. He didn't put angels in a place on fire with a red man with a pitchfork. No, this is hell means a lower estate, a certain condition. What's that condition? What's that lower estate? A body that can go off, a body that can die, and delivered them into chains of darkness. These bodies are like prisons. You only able to do so much. The Lord is not a man that he's not subject to only doing. We can't do things until the Lord allows us to do further things than the ones we've been subjected to, which is really going the hell off. We can't fly. We can't do none of that right now. You know, we can try to defy it as the Hebrew Israelites. That's why we're known for breaking records, defying science, being put on shows like Sports Science. But really, we still subject to, and that's how you know we use those angels. Because our the ability within the body we have, which is, makes us better than everybody else, the spirit within us. Because angels are spirits. But it says to be reserved unto judgment. Now moving on, this is Jude 1:6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. And we know clearly that's not talking about the angels that work for him up there. That's talking about that, because when did he do that to them? He didn't. He did that to obviously another set of angels, which will be who? The Hebrew Israelites, who today known as the Hebrew Israelites, today being called so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and bodies that's dying cursed, and they're dying by wounds, diseases, and the sword, man. Okay. And they subject to just off tendencies due to what? The chains of darkness that they have been put in unto the day of judgment, which will be what? The body. But whole time they're still angels. That's why they're known as the Lord's sons and his daughters, his children. Okay? Just a whole nother thing. Let's prove it. Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. This is fact. This is history. This actually happened. This is John bowing down to an angel. John is a Hebrew Israelite who today will be a so-called black, Latino, or Native American Indian, or Afro person scattered abroad, if you will, right? But it says, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, see, and of thy brethren that have the testimony. This is of Yahushua. This is an angel telling John that. So the Hebrew, and John was an Israelite. So the Hebrew Israelites are those angels that were reserved, that were put in chains of darknesses. But which would make sense, because why would, if they was on the same exact level, like it pointed out that Yahushua, who was a Hebrew Israelite, because he was put in the Hebrew Israelite bodies, he actually came through the Son of Man. There was no immaculate conception. If they were actually on the same, which made him a little lower than the angels, right? Because of all of that, if further proving that, because if John was on the same level as the angel, why would he bow down to him? So what's the difference? The body he had, what he's been subjected to, that chain of darkness. But the angel told him, get up, I'm of your fellow servant, of thy brethren. You're an angel. You're one of us. You're one of the ones that's reserved in these chains of darkness. You're who the Lord is talking about, the Father is talking about when he says he's not a man that he shall lie, because of which is regarding the estate that you hold, the condition you hold, which is that body that's programmed to go the hell off, that can fail. But really, within you, once you out of that shell, we the same. You see what I'm saying? That's what's heavy about it, man. But anyway, it says, worship the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. Okay? So when you move on, this is Hebrews 1:14. Are they not all ministering spirits? Because what? First of all, how could he bow down to somebody that don't have a body? Right? And then when you further look in this, the angels is made in the image of the Most High. So the Most High is a spirit. So this angel will be a spirit. But we just read how the Most High, even being a spirit, has a body. He is a spirit, right? He is a entity. He's a deity. He exists. He's alive. He's what we are, but he's not subject to what we are. That's what makes him different. Okay. And the angels are representations of his form, right? The angels up there, not the ones down here being us. So just want to make that clear. And this particular angel, right? All the angels in general up there, these angels men. Okay. I fell at his feet to worship him. So they're men. See that? And he has a body. He would need a body in order to have that done unto him. It says what? It says, are they not all ministering spirits? The angels are spirits. See that? Sent forth to minister for them. So that stays in continuity with the Lord is a man. And when he say he's not a man and he shall lie, not necessarily meaning regarding the gender or the dominant, whatever you want to call it. It's talking about a particular flesh, a particular condition, a state to where he would lie, which is these bodies. Has nothing to do with him not being a man, right? Because we see those that's in his complete image, they're men, they're spirits, and continuously being called what? He's and hims, and I fell down to worship before him. They got bodies and everything. Like it said, he had. Say the Most High got hair, man. See that? So it says, sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation. Exactly. And we read this in the NLT. Therefore, angels are only servants, spirits sent to care for people who inherit salvation, which is who? The Israelites. See that? So the angels are spirits. Okay. But they're able to be called hims and he's. They got bodies, etc. Thus, being representatives, messengers of the one they work for. They're in the image of, right? They're in continuity with being the Most High. Not on his exact, they're not the boss like him, but they're in continuity with him. Okay. So it's just that simple. Verse this 2 Peter 2:11. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation before the Lord. So it's clear they got bodies, they got hair, etc. So what is it actually saying? Well, it says, whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Lord. Once again, what's the difference between John and the angel? Even though the angel told John they the same, he told the Hebrew Israelite man, John, they're the same. Is what? He's in a state to where he can die and he isn't. He can lie and he can't. Let's prove it. Due to what? Obviously just the body, because he said they're the same. You see that? So let me read this, 2 Peter 2:11. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Lord. Meaning what? A lie. The angels don't lie due to the bodies they have. When you go into the word railing, it says what? Blasphemios. Speaking evil, slanderous, reproachful, abuse. We're just going to jump straight to it. What does slanderous mean? It say they don't speak slander. Slanderous mean what? Of a spoken statement, false and malicious. Synonym being what? The only one we need. Lying. They don't lie. So when it says, whereas angels, 2 Peter 2:11, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Lord, it mean they're not going to go to the Lord and lie, man. Okay? They're not going to do it. When you go to Jude 1:9, yet Michael, the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses, durst not bring against him a railing accusation. And what's spiritual about it? Michael means God. Maya Ka'alo means who is like God. See that? So the angels, they're men. They're in bodies, right? They say we just like them, but it clearly is a difference, which will have to be what? The body. Because say they excel at power and might. It's the body they got, man. You know, and what they're able to bring forth based off what they're not confined to. They can actually manifest certain things and bring forth certain things due to not being in a shell that's limited, that's that's muffling their ability, you know. But it says Michael, which is Michael Allah, who is like God. Once again, being an angel, a spirit, and the angels who are spirits are still said to have bodies and be able to be deemed they're men. They're men, you know. But it says durst not bring against him a relevant accusation. Once again, because he ain't gonna lie, because he not in the condition to be able to do that. That's all it's talking about. He says, but said the Lord rebuked thee. See that? So I got one more, and that'll be it. This is 1 Corinthians 15, and I'm gonna jump to 40. It says there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. See, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. So the Lord, when he say he's not a man that he shall lie, he's not in a terrestrial. He's not a man in a terrestrial body, in the terrestrial form. He's a man in the celestial form. See, body, because it says the celestials got bodies too. That's the angels in them. When you go into the NLT in this verse, it says there are also bodies in the heavens and bodies on the earth. The glory of the heavenly bodies is different. So celestial bodies mean heavenly bodies, meaning proving they got bodies. He's a man. It says it's different from the glory of the earthly bodies. It's just that simple. So it's not saying, Lord, he don't got a body. He ain't a man. He could be a woman. No, the Lord is a man. He has a body, he has hair, and if he was to manifest himself, he'd be a so-called black man of the tribe of Judah. That's why it says, out of Judah the Lord shall be known. His son was made out of Judah. His son was brought out of Judah. He's like, he that seen me have seen the Father. Yahushua said that. That one that sprang out of Judah. If the Lord came, if the Most High came, he would be the ultimate Judite, the ultimate so-called Negro. Just for whatever reason he did that, but point being, the Lord is up there with a body, hair and everything, woolly hair. He like a carnelian stone, a red jasper stone, which is brown. All those stones are brown. They have a brown, ruddy hue, you know, cowish, ruddish hue, brown, melanated, you know. Okay, so that's just that simple, man. So when it said that, it just meant God's not a man that he shall lie. Meaning what? He's not in the condition of where, in the condition, he's not in the celestial form of man to where he lie and go off. No, he perfect. He's in the celestial, the heavenly body, the perfect one. You know? So that's all it meant. So call Lam La Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai Wa Harakako Da Shalom.